following program is sponsored by Tropical Acres Steakhouse.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome bay, with shafafa on the side.
Good afternoon, everybody, and I am all fachated today. Welcome to another edition of the Lunchbox. Facebook keeps doing strange things to me because I think I'm posting one way and it's posting another way, and nobody wants to hear about my problem, so I'm just going to throw it right to you guys. Lubie and Defo, what's happening today? How are you?
Everything's good. Actually, I was in wild anticipation of the beginning of the show here after this whole brouhaha that you started online. Speaking of Facebook, and I would imagine this was Let's Eat South Florida's most popular topic, and that was the rather lavish expense of the hot dog that you ate yesterday at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. And I mean, I did a little research on this, but I'm curious. And then you wrote a very eloquent piece quoting like Shakespeare and several other known hot dog aficionados. And it was defying everything that you always talk to and complain to people about on the thread there. As it was probably a couple of thousand words,
800, maybe 800, 900 words, kind of like my old reviews in the old days when I would get paid for them. Yeah.
Well, when they said, "Hey, listen, if you can't produce, in this case, don't take this as a sexual reference, people, 24 inches of copy, then don't even bother turning this thing in." It's going right on the floor, right on the editing room floor.
I was just underwhelmed because of the 7 inches that I got in terms of the hot dog. Oh, we're starting off on bad food here. Hey, so yeah, all right. So let's set it up. I'm sure
did
that
you straighten out your issue there with the technology.
Yes, I did.
We're also coming off a Dickstein group call, which usually taints the Tuesday shows.
Everybody knows that Tuesdays I am Mr. Grumpwad. I've got my grumpy mug here because there's so much action, and of course it's backwards here. But where do I begin? Well, I'm sure you, Mr. Defo, a frequent habitué of racetracks and casinos around the country, have had some pretty expensive hot dogs in your time, like maybe a hot dog that ended up costing $300, but at the time, when you purchased it was only maybe $3, $3.50.
I'll tell you what, I mean, back in the day, a racetrack hot dog certainly was a specialty item, and among the best ever were the grilled dogs on the fourth floor, just before you got to the roof garden. I had a little hot dog stand at Calder Racecourse. Had some of the best racetrack hot dogs I've ever had. I want to say that those were absolutely divine, and they couldn't have been more than $4. That's for sure.
And back in the day when you were pushing souvenirs and things,
dogs at Shea were a
quarter.
Yeah,
I remember being a youngster and going to Shea Stadium and maybe paying. At first, it was 50 cents, then it became 75, then it became $1. And I love those dirty dogs at Shea. I think they used the water straight from Flushing Bay.
It was from the Hudson River. It was actually Hudson River water. Yes.
I had a tremendous essence and terroir. Well, it wouldn't be terroir because that means the earth and the land. So it'd be a tremendous aqua venture. I'm just making up words now. Let's get
well after that article that you wrote or whatever, that review of the hot dog. I mean, it wouldn't be uncommon. We couldn't blame you for being stuck in some kind of word coma.
Yes. Did you read it all? Did you enjoy it?
I tried to read all of it. I didn't read every single word.
Wait, he's not. You guys are shaking your head. So you guys are like just everybody else down.
Well, you were quoting some other guy, and he was waxing philosophical. I don't know. Well, what did you think, Lubie?
Here's the hot dog story.
Hang on a second.
Well, let's start before I get into my dog story soliloquy. What
if you just read the thing, we would be at 11:50, and then we don't have 10 minutes left in the show.
We get to the first break. That's always good. All right. So let me just start with some questions to keep this lively. What's the most you've ever paid for a hot dog? And like a regular hot dog, not a hot dog that's made from a crab leg or something like that. But like you basically,
I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine I've paid more than $10 ever, and if I did, it had to be at a ball game of some sort. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I guess some of the stadiums now are charging in the $8 to $9 range, right?
Yeah, if you went
8.95,
to a hockey
9.95.
game like you did with your daughter, and you went to the concession stands and said, "Hey, I'll have a dog," it probably was in the $10 range. You would think eight,
Okay.
9, 10, something in there.
I wouldn't know because when I went to an actual live game, the only thing I bought was a $20 beer, and we ate afterwards. But when we went to the virtual game that was beamed up from the finals that
Oh
were
yeah,
taking place in Las Vegas, they had half price. So like we got some good food. I think she got the chicken tenders for the reasonable rate of like $8 or $7.50 or something like that, which wasn't too
in New
bad.
Orleans, they have the Lucky Dog stand right in
Yes,
the casino in Harris Casino, and I
$5,
think I
right?
want to say maybe $6,
Yeah, it's
something like
gone up.
that. Yeah,
I remember when I first started going to New Orleans, they were $2 or $2.50, the Lucky Dogs. So
yeah. And on the
things.
street, they're probably a little bit less.
What is a basic New York push cart dog going for these days? Does
That
anybody
I
know
don't
that in
know.
the audience? Anybody been up to Midtown Manhattan lately? Anybody?
And had the guts to go ahead and have one off a push cart under today's
Why wouldn't
conditions.
you? I mean, it's kind of one of the essence of
It's
New
my
York.
favorite.
It's a New York essential.
Yeah.
With a slice of pizza. Lubie, what's the most you've ever spent for a hot
Like
dog?
6. I mean, I feel like at a Marlins game it's like $6 or $7. I mean, they might be more now, I guess, because I haven't gone a couple
Yeah.
years. But
All right, so
yeah,
everybody's going.
hot dog, like how much are you spending for a freaking hot dog? Like I can't even imagine. I'd rather have spent. There was a grilled cheese and a soup that was $16. Like
So
at least I feel like I'm getting a meal. For
Here's the
$16.
thing. It's so funny how different food items trigger different responses because like I said, I would go to Council Oak and get a veal chop for $62 or whatever they charge for a veal chop, or a ribeye is $68. And I don't bat an eye because that's what you expect when you go to a high-end steakhouse. Uh, and that if you're getting the prime meat and it's the fancy casino setting, but that's almost like worth it because you're getting a good quality thing. What happened to me yesterday was like utterly shocked myself, and you guys were, I'm not going to say complicit. You didn't egg me on. You were actually, I guess, trying to steer me away. And here's what happened. I
They
went
were basically telling you with that price, if it was on the menu and you weren't surprised by it,
run the other way.
blindsided by it, that yeah, go eat somewhere else. They were telling you.
They were telling me only a total schmuck would
Right.
actually
If you're dumb enough to pay it, yeah,
would
exactly.
follow through. Now they had a half-pound hamburger on their menu for $20.95. That
Rip off
included the
too.
cheese,
Yeah.
which kind of surprised me. And this is okay. At the Hard Rock, there's a place called the PLA Sports Bar. It's in that little hallway lined with shops and stores. That's
Why,
right.
why do they feel compelled to rip you off, though? You would think, if anything, they would be offering slight bargains because you're in there playing and you get something to eat. You might stick around longer.
This is not in the poker room itself, which has
Yeah.
its own concession stand. And this is not the food court, which is on the opposite end, on the other side of the casino. This is in that entrance where you go in where the Dare nightclub
Right
and
there,
day
and
club,
it's all the expensive ass shops. Like that's
all the expensive shops, all the the fancy schmancy stores. Marky's Caviar is there if you want really expensive and have hundreds of dollars spent on
they have like
caviar.
this ice cream that has alcohol infused.
That's right. They have
Amazing.
the
It's actually really good. But
boozy ice cream, and that goes for like what, $12 for a
it's like
small.
a little ass tube that's like $10 to $15. But I will say it's ridiculously rich. Like you can only eat. Well, I don't know what Mayo can eat, but my wife and I can only eat so much of it. It's extremely rich and it's extremely heavy, but it's really good. But it's also like $13, $14 for a freaking tube that's like
Right,
this
but
big.
it's like you're getting a drink along with your ice cream, and I don't like to mix the two. I like to have my ice cream and then chug my bottle of vodka on the side. But so PLA Sports Bar, I'm shocked because of the burger price. I've never eaten the food there, but I'm shocked by the burger price because right down the road, I mean, in the middle of the casino itself, next to the Hard Rock Live, is the Hard Rock Cafe. Do a good cheeseburger, freshly ground meat every day. I actually highly recommend that burger. It's surprising, but it is a fresh ground burger that they top with all kinds of different things. The basic one has bacon and cheese. You can get the extra cheesy one, and that's like a big, thick steak burger. They also have now the messy burger, which I was going to talk about later, which is kind of smashed and cooked beyond recognition. I don't like the messy burger because it's a double smash burger with a very salty sauce, along with like a piece of, what is it? Not ham, prosciutto, something like that. But that's a whole other topic. But the burgers at Hard Rock Cafe are good, and they're only $18.95. So like this
Only
PLA,
$18.95.
well,
That's terrible. Yeah.
PLA place is charging $2 more than the Hard Rock Cafe. And I guess it's owned and operated maybe by somebody different. I didn't go that deep into it. All I know is that PLA has been a very fine place to me. I go get my drinks there. And I don't bat an eyelash about paying $16 for an old fashioned. On Wednesday nights, they have $10 old fashioned specials. So I especially like playing on Wednesday nights there. And it's funny how certain things, like, I don't bat an eyelash over booze prices. I don't bat an eyelash when I go to Starbucks and my daughter orders some fancy foamy iced drink and spends, $7 and change on that. But for some reason, that $16 hot dog or $15.95, it absolutely triggered me, but it also intrigued me, Defo. And
wow.
Yeah, I mean, and for this reason.
Who is this guy you were quoting with the $29 dog?
So, and that brings me to the other part of the story. While I'm sitting there contemplating what I'm going to eat tonight, and I said, you know what? I was going to go to Council Oak and grab a quick meal, but then I got caught up with some things on my phone. I got into a text exchange with Dickstein, and then I was doing some other things because I was just sitting at the bar there having my one drink. Next thing I know, it's like 5:15, 5:20. And I said, you know what? I'm going to eat some food here at PLA for the first time. And it's like a sports bar place. And I see people get like nachos and, they've got pizzas and things like that. But when I saw the $15 hot dog at exactly the same time, I felt like a hot dog. I had a burger the day before.
You didn't look like a hot dog.
I'm a very thick hot dog. I'm a knockwurst myself.
No, I mean, that's always a thing. A guy says, well, I felt like a such.
Yeah, no,
don't look like it.
I do look like a knockwurst these days, or a very thick sausage. Anyway, so
the sexual double entendre.
Yeah,
you just can't get away from that.
I can't get.
Now that you're on the loose, unbelievable.
All right, 6:00 tournament. It's 5:20, and just at the same time where I'm thinking I might, order something, and I might want a hot dog. In my inbox lands the weekly New York Times restaurant review by Pete Wells. Pete Wells has been their restaurant critic for, I'm guessing about 12 to 15 years now. He
didn't come from the sports department, did he?
No, but he's a very
they're out of business there at the sports department.
Yeah. There's no more sport. They're not getting rid of the food section there at the Times, thank goodness. But the review of this week came through. I always get them on Monday evenings. It gets sent out by email, and I like to read his reviews because, hey, I'm an ex-critic and I respect his work. I've never met the guy, but he's a very lively and humorous writer. But he reviewed a place that recently opened in Midtown Manhattan. It's called Misha, and it has a very big conversation piece on the menu, a $29 hot dog. Now, you've mentioned New York things that are pricey earlier this year. You've mentioned, I think, the $29 ham and cheese sandwich.
That was a $30 tub of guac.
$30 guacamole in the Hamptons. Yeah. The $29 ham and cheese sandwich at some fancy place. And now added to that list is the $29 hot dog at Misha, which Pete Wells, it was just so funny when I saw this review land. I said, now I got to get the $16 hot dog and compare it to his $29 hot dog, which he called outrageous, obnoxious, a stunt, like highbrow and lowbrow stunt. But then he proclaimed the hot dog pretty delicious and said as a hot dog itself, if you put aside the price, it was a good hot dog, and it was made in-house, especially, with a nice casing that had a good crunch and snap. And he said it was a hot dog that tasted smoky and a little bit like corned beef. And he basically said it was a good hot dog for $29. And it had all these fancy schmancy condiments that came, like a house-made kimchi, which is the Korean, cabbage, spicy cabbage. It also had house-made pickle relish. It had its own, house-made mustard and pimento cheese. I wouldn't put pimento cheese on a hot dog.
It's still ridiculous at $29. I don't care how.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. He said it's ridiculous, but that as just on a pure food level, that it was kind of worth it, or that it was enjoyable to eat. Whereas my $16 hot dog that I ended up getting,
it didn't look like much, I would have to say. I mean, it looked like a dog that you would have gotten at Shea, only they had some grilled onions on it or something.
There was nothing remarkable about it. It was
actually a hot dog. It was supposed to be a big hot dog, wasn't it?
They call it on the menu. They called it a Nathan's Jumbo Dog. And when I questioned the bartender, who was very nice, and she was, I think, trying to steer me away from it, but sometimes you know how it is with us self-sabotaging.
You were going to be adamant about getting the hot dog.
Yeah, I
No,
want
I
to just
understand it, but I
yeah.
mean, just staring at the price on they basically were telling you they may as well have put a circle and a red line through it and said, "Listen, Mayo, this isn't what you want. It's the
But
last thing on the menu you should be ordering."
nevertheless, I persisted,
Yeah,
and I questioned her. And I said,
you
"So
ordered wrong. There you
yeah, I did
Say it
absolutely
wrong. Yeah,
see
100% order.
Guilty of your own
guilty as
deadly
charged,
sin.
Your
Yes,
Honor."
Dude,
you
on the
ordered
menu
wrong.
shot us. I'm like, yeah, but there's a soup and sandwich. That's the same price. That's at least a meal. I'm like, a hot dog. I need to eat like 4 hot dogs to feel like I had any food. Like a hot dog's like air. Like,
Well, to its credit, the hot dog came with the choice of either French fries, sweet potato tater
at least
tots,
you got a side.
fruit, or salad. And of course, you think I was going to
I
go for
know.
the
I
fruit or the
noticed you
salad.
opted for the worst of the choices.
Yeah, the
No,
tater.
this one
Sweet
was
potato tater tots.
that was the recommendation of the bartender, and
Because she knew you
was
were a
gonna be-
sucker at that point.
She
And you were
said she
going to
liked the
persist
sweet.
in. Oh, okay, all right.
She said she liked the sweet potato tater tots.
And did you?
I have a fondness for sweet potato things because of Gilbert's and their
Yeah.
great sweet potato fries. So I took a shot. Now I got to tell you, the flavor profile of a sweet potato tater tot with a Nathan's hot dog covered with grilled onions did not work for me.
Doesn't
at
go.
all.
I mean, get some fries. That's
French
what
fries.
I
goes
should have
with it.
got regular fries. I told.
Yeah.
Okay. To put it in the
And if they
vernacular-
had a Nathan's fries, it
Awesomeness.
would have come closer to justifying the outrageously high price of the hot
I'm
dog.
not gonna lie. I would have gone around the corner to Coney Island Joe's before,
now
and
now you're talking Coney
I would
Island
have been both.
Joe's.
I got your freaking
You
hot
get
dog and fries for
Two
like
hot
$7.
dogs. Yeah, 2 hot dogs, fries, and a soda, I think, for like $11 or something like that, which would have
All
been $5 cheaper than what I spent on this garbage dog. But look, you're absolutely right. I ordered wrong, everything, but I just needed to go through this experience because I just
Did you
was
order the
curious.
hot dog when you go to the movies? I think those are the worst hot dogs that you
no,
could
those are the
get
ones that
at a
just-
movie
Those
theater.
those
Those are
terrible.
horrible. Yeah.
7-Eleven, I think.
Yeah,
is pretty
7-Eleven hot
bad.
dog.
7-Eleven
many-
hot dogs would be almost like getting Chateaubriand at the price compared to what you had.
There's so many good hot dogs out there, but this was both bad and outrageously expensive. I could not resist because I haven't written like just something that zings something in a while, and I guess maybe
This
that
was an easy thing to pick on, though. I mean, why don't you, pick on the mentally impaired person like Donald Trump did that time?
It's low hanging fruit. And speaking of which, I am going the fruit route for lunch today. I've got some nice fresh honeydew that absolutely delicious. So-
You're losing your mind. I mean, you're paying $16 for a lousy hot dog. I believe this that casinos are self-defeating in robbing people blind at the food concessions, especially on a hot dog or something like that. I mean, you're waiting for the time where they say, okay, after 3:00, the hot dog is $2. That's what you're looking for. Sheldon G says at the what is it? The Southport Casino,
think in
Vegas.
$1.50.
Mhm. How much?
$1.50 in Vegas. $1.50 for the hot
Of course, Costco has their world
Well, yeah,
famous
the
hot
hot dog
dogs.
is the best deal.
Here are some classic places. Now Myron's Deli has a hot dog at the Harris Casino. Now,
Oh, how much?
formerly the
How
Isle.
much? Yeah.
Well, I would say this. I mean, you have to qualify it. It's easily double the size of the hot dog that you.
It's one of
described.
those what we used to call a special,
I mean,
like
a
those.
giant,
Yeah.
foot long hot dog, and that's $10.99.
Mhm.
So
Oh, wow.
that's that's a little bit up there, but it really is twice the size or more of
it's
that.
it's
hot
like a
dog. And
knockwurst. It's
and
a
it looks
big-
great. It looks
It's a
fantastic.
big knockwurst. Jackson's Ice Cream Parlor, where we're going to be next week on next Thursday. We're doing a show with Stacy Ritter is supposed to come out from Visit Lauderdale
Nice.
and sit down with Linda Zackheim, who's the owner and daughter of the original founder, Monroe Udell. But they have a great belly buster, foot long hot dog that is worth every penny. And I think that comes on a big platter, and you could get either Chicago dog style or New York style with the sauerkraut. And I think that might be in the $15-16
Wow,
range.
15.
But that's a meal for like 3. You could like have 3 different meals. That to me, I have
Pink's
no
Hot
issue.
Dogs, L.A. How about that? Pink's Hot Dogs, most famous hot dog, among the most famous in the world. I mean, up there with anything that you could get at Nathan's and Coney Island. $5.95 for their hot
Nice.
dog. And that comes
not
with
bad.
chili and all kinds of other stuff if you want it. And then Hot Dog Heaven, very popular place here in Fort Lauderdale. People rave about it on Let's Eat South Florida. Your basic dog at Hot Dog Heaven is $3.90. $3.90.
Yeah, no. And again, there's a place, Hot Diggity Dog, on it's Griffin Road near
Yeah.
the casino. I think they go for the basic New York dog is like $3.50, and a Chicago dog is close to $5 now. Nathan's of Coney Island, the original hot dog stand where Joey Chestnut does his handiwork every year.
Yes.
$4.75 for the original Nathan's hot dog, which is a plumper and natural casing dog with a
Those
good
are great,
crisp
yeah.
snap for $4.75. Now, the Nathan's dog that they had, I looked this up. Because when I said, "Oh, why are they charging $16 for a hot dog?" and the bartender said, "Well, they're bigger." Okay. And she was like saying it's like a bigger dog. And I was expecting like what you find at Myron's, at like that big
The Myron's
knockwurst.
dog is tempting to order even at $11.
It's a
'cause
knockwurst.
It's
It's
huge.
like-
yeah.
Yeah,
Back
it's
in
like
the-
a nice-
Yeah. Back in the day, we called that in New York when we go to the deli for dinner and they would serve two of those big, thick knockwursts. We called them specials because
Yeah.
you could eat them for dinner. They were so big. But this, when she told me it was bigger, I was expecting so much more. And then, and then it comes out. And it's, first of all, I asked her, "Do you have sauerkraut? Or do you have, like just some onions?" And when I said onions, I meant like raw chopped onions. I put
Yeah.
mustard and onions. And she said, "I don't know. I'll check." So, and then when the hot dog got,
She didn't know if they had onions or not. How
She
many of
didn't
these
know.
are you the first guy that ordered them?
I think I'm the first one in history
You
that
might have been
ordered.
the only guy that ever
At the
ordered
end of the
them.
meal, she said, I think she's worked there for like 3 or 4 years. She said she's only ever served like 2 or 3 of them.
They're
So
trying to eliminate it from the menu. And you're
they're
there.
more rare
Hey,
than a
come with
royal
anything?
flush.
How about ketchup? Yeah.
More rare than a flopped royal flush.
Yeah.
The serving of the hot dogs at PLA. I was surprised when they brought it out because it was covered in these grilled onions, and I did not expect grilled onions on a hot dog. I got to say, the grilled onions themselves were fine, but I don't know if it goes with a hot dog. Produced a little bit of indigestion. But and then I asked for mustard, and they bring out this condiment tray that all it has is your favorite, Defo,
The yellow mustard? Wow.
the French's yellow mustard.
Weak.
Weak. I said, "Do you have any,
hate this
golden
for
spicy brown?" No.
Nothing.
They had ketchup, they had mayonnaise, they had yellow mustard. I just put the yellow mustard on it, and shamefully just consumed.
And that's a real concession because not only are you getting raw blind on a hot dog, and not only are you not getting your raw onions, which go much better on a hot dog than grilled
Yeah,
onions,
you want grilled.
but now you're having to smear this schmutz on there, this yellow mustard, which is supposed to give you at least some semblance of a taste of what you dug when you were a kid in New York. And instead, it just totally takes the whole
This
flavor,
thing-
treat away and makes you think, my God, how did French's stay in business with this?
This
I
thing
mean, it
was
seems like baby diarrhea when you put that yellow mustard on a hot dog.
Thank you for
doesn't it?
phrasing it that way. This thing was a complete disaster.
I'm not as eloquent, in terms of my
Complete
metaphors as you are.
disaster.
Yeah, you were comparing this to like Jiggly and
Well, yeah, because the
Ishtar.
Times critic, his ultimate assessment of this $29 hot dog, which he liked the flavor, but found the pricing obviously gimmicky and obnoxious. But he said it hits in a way that was satisfying and also revolting. He said it was Barbie meets Oppenheimer, and I said my hot dog was Jiggly meets the
Ishtar.
what was-
Yeah.
Ishtar. Yeah, the
Yeah,
two
that was good.
biggest disasters of all time. So anyway, I shamefully ate my hot dog. I finished it, and then I had a discussion. I said, "You know what?" She said, "How was it?" I said, "I gotta be honest."
Were you the
that was-
only person at the bar? I'm assuming.
No, it was a full bar. She
Oh,
had
yeah?
a
Wow.
full house, and
So
there
this
were
bartender had time to sit there and do a dissertation on a dog.
no, she was busy running around.
Okay.
But she asked me. She had a little bit of a breather, but she had she just asked, and I said, "Look, I got to tell you." I said, "This is."
Oh,
not-
was she attractive at all
Oh,
to
yeah.
you? I mean,
It's a hard rock bar.
No, was she
No?
attractive? Yes. Was she attracted to me? I'm guessing no, but that's
because you would have killed all shot that you had by ordering the dog.
He's not trying to make a move on her. He just wanted.
It sounded like it. I mean, you spent enough time talking to this woman about a stinking hot dog. Great.
So I just said to her, I said, "Look, I'm paying for it. I'm not gonna, I said, there's no complaints except for the fact that it's just not very good and it's totally overpriced." I said, "Just can you do? I'm not gonna ask for a manager." I said, I just said, "But can you just pass along that feedback to them?" And she said, "Yeah, sure." She
Oh,
would.
I'm sure she ran right back there and called the manager and said, "Hey, you know what? There's this
Did you say?
there's this guy out here just paid 16 for a dog. I think he's the third one in history of the
Yeah,
place, and
I was
he wants
obliged
you
to
to know
do
it
that
sucks."
because I knew I wanted to write about it on the Facebook group.
Oh,
And one
okay.
of the rules, unwritten rules, is that if you're going to go on and kvetch about something, at least, mention your gripe to the establishment first.
They
Now,
would have thrown you out of there for complaining.
it is what it is. And I'm going to go back there and drink often and get my
Will you
drinks.
ever order this hot dog again?
No,
I imagine
Never,
no.
never in a
Never.
million thousand years. No,
They had to
Alright,
bring
of
a
course
decent
not.
menu. Get something else.
No, I'm never going to eat food there again. I'm just going to go there for my pregame cocktails. And on breaks, I go in there and I get some cocktails occasionally to keep me loose so I could try to run some bluffs. But meanwhile, this hot dog didn't sit well. It just messed up my feng shui, and I was knocked out of the tournament within an hour.
No,
and on my way home in an Uber. And so
You
the
should have
ultimate-
stopped at that place that Lubie mentioned.
they're closed
yeah,
at like
Coney
10.
Island Joe's. He
Not
closes
Coney Island
early.
Joe's.
Yeah. So the ultimate tag on the hot dog was $166, including the entry.
Oh, well, you can't really count that. Yeah, the $300 hot dog concept, was you're telling a wife, hey, I'm just going to go out to the track, meet the guys for a half hour, have a hot dog, and then you lose 3 sticks and you feel like an idiot. But yeah, I mean, that doesn't, demean, and diminish the effectiveness of the actually well-priced hot dog. Like I said, those Roof Garden hot dogs are called a race course. I used to look forward to those, and they always had the spicy mustard, my friend. If you wanted raw onions, that was an easy deal to accomplish. I think they might have even done grilled onions, and whatever else that they wanted on there was fine.
So the capper to the story is, when I registered my overall, shock about the price and displeasure, the bartender, and she was very nice, and I'm a regular there. She knows my drink order. She makes my old fashioned perfect because I always ask for a dry, not too sweet. But she just shrugged at the end of the day and she said, "Well, it is the Hard Rock."
Yeah.
At least you know, yeah.
You know what? They
Lesson
are a
learned.
little outrageous there, though.
Hey,
Don't you
$5. It's the home of $5 seltzer,
Yeah.
which of course I've posted about. It's the home of $52 crab leg hot dog that they sell at Marky's. That was
drinks
teeny
are
little
all,
thing.
pretty pricey everywhere you go.
It's like Sabi
You're not
Fuzz.
saving any money on a drink somewhere there at the Hard Rock either.
No, but
They're not making enough money there. They just built this whole freaking guitar hotel. They
My
leveled
favorite-
the trailers that they had there years ago, and they've already leveled the other hotel. Incredible.
My favorite part is how they still impose sales tax on items at their restaurants, even though they don't pay sales tax to the state
That's
of
a good one.
Florida because they're a sovereign nation. But their explanation is, well, we don't want to undercut any of the local businesses, so we're still going to charge the tax, even though we keep it all to ourselves. So how's that?
Yeah.
But
I can't
anyway,
complain. I mean, you know what? I did some work for the people there when they were doing a lot of boxing matches. And, it was a lot of fun, and it was a high-end production, and they paid very well. So I do have an affinity for the people there at the Hard Rock. But last few times I've gone, and freebie concerts, which were great. But nonetheless, I mean, you want to stay away from the restaurants. That's for sure.
hey,
And
know
you
what?
like them. You like a lot of the places there. You don't even mind getting gouged on. What was that other place? The fancy
I-
schmancy brunch joint?
Abiaka is a nice restaurant, upscale, but again, worth the price. It's all about value. Like if you're getting something that's a different experience. and
But
good
you don't want to get
ambiance,
creamed. I mean, it's embarrassing to get robbed like that. Like,
I don't wanna get creamed,
do they
but-
wear a ski mask and a gun when they come out and they bring the food?
No, but again, when you go into a Council Oak or whatever,
That's
lunch-
different.
the
That's the
brunch
high end
at-
thing.
The
Sure.
brunch at Curro is like, really high end. It's up to, I think, 120 or 125 now, but it comes all inclusive with all the drinks and not just Bloody Marys and mimosas, but also just straight up vodka drinks, whatever you want. So, again, value is a relative concept. I don't mind paying $60 for a high quality veal chop.
If they blow you away with the thing, it's great. Yeah.
Right. But I do mind paying $16 for just something that's not just ordinary. Okay, because so I looked it up. These jumbo hot dogs, it's actually sold in packages in supermarkets. They call them jumbos, but there's only in a pack, there's 5 of them and it's 12 ounces. So it's a 2.4 ounce hot dog, which is not that big of a hot dog. And they price them at my local Walmart market for $4.49. So it's 90 cents for one of those hot dogs that they
Yeah.
stuck in a bun with some tater tots and charged me 16.
Were you tempted to order a second one after having the first one?
Absolutely not. What I did do,
That would have been great, right? You got $30
I
worth
was
of
tempted.
dogs.
This brings me right into the commercial. Thank
Yeah.
you. I was tempted to go right in my Uber right to Tropical Acres
That
and
would have
have
been
myself a
yeah.
real proper dinner.
It was that early. That's right, because you got
It was
blown out
that
in the
early,
tournament.
but I was a little full.
You could have got the early bird at Tropical Acres. Had 2 lobsters for the same money.
I could have gone to Tropical Acres and got my, happy hour half price Belvedere martini and one of their great, like the sirloin sliders.
Yeah.
That's $6. That would have been $14. It would have been $2 less than that crappy hot dog alone. And that's
And
why I
you would have
love
felt
Tropical.
better about it. You would have had a better experience.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have had all of this agita, and you probably would have been nicer to Dickstein on the phone this morning.
You got that right. Hey, we got another
Do
Dixie.
you feel badly about getting ripped off? No. I mean, you've seen these situations before in your
No,
experience
I knew
as the
what I
food
was
critic.
walking into, and I guess it's a matter of I'll suffer for my art. I figure it would be good material for both the Let's Eat group and the Lunchbox. And sometimes you just gotta, write it off as a business expense. So that's it.
Well, I mean, it was on the menu. It would have been something, if you just ordered the hot dog, you didn't know what the price was, and then they stuck you with the $16 tab.
Well,
That would have been even uglier.
If you see the old MP market price next to a hot dog, I would also
Well, I was chicken wings. For
I
a
would
while,
run the
remember?
other way. Yeah, at one point, chicken has come way back down. Hey, so Tropical Acres, that's the place to go if you want value, quality, service, and just an all-around satisfying experience. I mean, I've never walked out the door at Tropical Acres feeling like I did yesterday. I always walk out smiling and happy and say, "Wow, how did I eat so well for such little money?" And that is the incredible part, because you can go there and you go there for whether it's the happy hour in the bar from 4:30 to 6:30. Half price wine night is going on again tonight, 50% off most bottles on their great wine list. Of course, they have the early bird, where the first hour from 4:30 to 5:30, you get extra goodies included in your dinner. Besides the salad and the side dish, you also get a soup and dessert, coffee and tea. All these deals are available at Tropical Acres, 2500 Griffin Road. We're going to be in there next Tuesday, a week from today. I can't wait. Looking
That's
forward
going to be great. Yeah.
sitting down with the great Jack Studiali and his sons Joe and Jackson, who he calls his son, but it's a great story behind that. We're going to find out all about that. Next Tuesday, they're going to grill up some stuff for us, like hopefully a little bit of the filet mignon, which they're known for. Don't know if the prime rib is going to be ready for us for lunchtime, but we'll see. And my other favorite is the twin lobster special. Summertime means twin lobsters straight from the northeast waters of Maine or Nova Scotia. You get 2 of those, pound and a quarter, at $39, including your salad and side dish. You can't beat it. I love Tropical Acres. And don't forget, get your loyalty reward card. I have about 6 of them scattered around in my car, in my drawers. At one point, I'm going to combine all of them. And for every 12 entrees that you purchase, you get the 13th one for free. All these things just make Tropical Acres
The old baker's dozen. Remember they used to do that at a bagel shop.
Yeah.
They give you that 13th bagel if you ordered a dozen.
TropicalAcres.com for the latest specials in their butcher shop, and also entertainment in their lounge that they have on weekends and other days. Go in there. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, coming back with more. Mike Mayo finally has digested the price of that hot dog, and
I haven't digested the hot dog so well.
How many people
up.
responded to that? I would imagine that was a very popular thread there on Let's Eat South
I
Florida.
just posted it at 11, so I'm going to wait for it to.
I want to say it gets 300-400 responses. All right, coming back with more. Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. More adventures with the Mayo Man. And then tomorrow, that's going to be great. Not
Casa
open to the
Calabria.
public, I guess, but Casa Calabria. That's going to be a spectacular. So we'll be back with more. Very excited about this week's shows in a moment.
Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, family owned for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all. Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Owner Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Do you like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style. A pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754 779 7788. 754 779 7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox. Want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting? Have I got the place for you? Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasto platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi. Fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed on Mondays. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. This August, Visit Lauderdale invites everyone under the sun to indulge in the annual Dine Out Lauderdale promotion. This year's options will be more diverse than ever, with fine dining restaurants, casual eateries, and even your favorite cafes and ice cream parlors part of the mix. From August 1st through 31st, scores of restaurants will be offering multi-course meals at discounted prices starting at just $45 per person. Diners can also enjoy sweets and treats, brunches, happy hour specials, and exclusive culinary experiences. This year's lineup includes 3030 Ocean, Foxy Brown, and Lasso Gaucho in Fort Lauderdale, Even Keel Fish Shack and Aruba Beach Cafe in Lauderdale by the Sea, Cafe Max in Pompano, The Cook and the Cork in Coral Springs, Union Kitchen and Bar in Wilton Manors, and more. Restaurants are being added by the day. For the full Dine Out Lauderdale lineup and all the details, go to dineoutlauderdale.com. Well, we're back on the Lunchbox, and the comments are streaming in on my $16 hot dog experience. Been posted a little more than an hour. We've got almost 100 comments on there, including from our friend Ken Rosenblum. Says, forget about it. High on the list of egregiousness, yellow mustard. Only golden spicy brown goes on a Nathan's dog. I'd say any deli mustard would be appropriate. And we have Nadine says anything you buy at the Hard Rock is a waste of money.
Andy says he never wins there. Never.
And it was
which is sort of true of my experience as well at the Hard Rock.
And Cindy F says that's sad, almost the same as the bourbon without the enjoyment. You got that right. The bourbon, at least, it hits different. It hits nice. So, all right, keep sending those in. And speaking of Ken, our friend, he is in. He's going to be joining us.
Nice.
Paying his own way at our Sunday brunch bash. That's going to be at 10 Palms at Gulfstream this Sunday, along with 4 previous Gulfstream contest winners are going to be out with their groups.
Nice.
I'm going to be there. Lubie, you're in, right?
Yeah.
Defo, are you in?
I'm in with a slight asterisk. May have a social conflict that day that I can't get out of, but I'm going to try my best to get out of it.
Defo, if you're not there, that's okay. I'll do enough gambling for both of us. So,
yeah, I mean, let's hope it's some winning gambling, though. It took a while. And I have to bring this up real quickly because I told you, and we'll try and get him on the show to talk about this. Our good friend Frank Miramonte, the race caller now at Saratoga, I've known a guy about 30 years. He came here to South Florida and he started with like Scorephone or something, stretch call, and he was doing race recreations for people that were paying 99 cents to call into a number and get the stretch call of a race at Yonkers. And that was his job. That's how he got started. Then he got the job at Hialeah, so he was here for a while. And I only knew the man to eat pizza.
Yeah.
But he knew of every pizza joint anywhere, and he's called races all over the country. So this is what he does, as part of his, I guess it would be, somewhat of a food
His
hobby.
travels. He likes to go
He-
check out pizza. Yeah.
He checks out the best pizza places, and he's not afraid to, jump in a car. He drove 3 hours from Saratoga to New Haven to eat
Yep.
at Sally's. I do want to say that pizza that you brought to the track that Andy and I started to consume, and then the rest of the vultures came over and ate, the other 6 slices before we got back for seconds from the pizza spot was great. And I think that's what he had, like the plain tomato pie or something at Sally's.
Well, what they do is, and I didn't
and
see.
he loved it. He said it was great, and that they also do a frozen variety that isn't half bad.
Well, Frank went for the first time. He made the pilgrimage, which I'm kind of shocked that he'd never been there before, because he called races at Monmouth during the summer in Jersey, and that's
Well,
kind of
and
an
he
easy,
liked a lot of places in New Jersey, though. They do
Yeah.
have good pizza.
but it's an easy short hop, relatively speaking, to get to New Haven from Monmouth as it is from Saratoga. But be that as it may, he made the pilgrimage. I saw that he went to Sally's. I didn't see his review, but when
he
you
said it was
go,
great. He liked it.
when you go all the way to New Haven, you don't just stop at Sally's. You got to hit all the big 3. The big 3 are Pepe's, which is now down here. They've branched down in expansion mode.
It
but the
does seem,
original-
though, Mike Mayo, I don't know if this is fair to say, because I haven't had enough of it. We went there once, and I wouldn't be able to compare it to the New Haven variety, but it does seem like are there 2 locations of Pepe's?
Yes,
that-
now there is Plantation and Delray Beach.
General consensus seems to be that it's not quite the same.
Well, everybody's always going to say that about any kind of expansion of a chain, whether it's a Nathan's that opens on the Turnpike or in Miami, and the Miami one didn't make it. Nothing is ever the same as the original, because you have the original oven in the case of Pepe's, the original grill, and the sea air, the oceanfront, air at Nathan's and
sea air.
Carmel, and the nostalgia. But Pepe's is now down here, but the original Pepe's, again, it's kind of like the Pats versus Geno's cheesesteak debate.
Yeah.
People up in New Haven, they argue for days about Pepe's versus Sally's, and then the newcomer, relatively, because it opened in the 1940s, not in the 1920s, modern pizza. And I say anybody who makes that trek to New Haven would be doing themselves a disservice if they did not eat at all 3. And you have to go bang, bang, bang and eat. And they only make pies. They don't make whole slices. So you got to go with a group and go. And me and Dixie might do this one day, because he's a Connecticut guy and he loves his New Haven pizza. But yeah, he's a Pepe's guy. I'm a modern guy. When I went to New Haven one time, I love modern. I would actually rank it modern, Pepe's, and Sally's, but Sally's has its devotees. And again, the plain tomato pie doesn't even have mozzarella cheese on it. It's like I've brought to you, I think, one time, or I showed it to you from Pizza Spot.
No, it's good.
It's just sauce.
Well, we had it with you there. Yeah.
with the grated pecorino, right there when we did the show last time. The grated pecorino romano cheese, not too cheesy, more of the sauce, and the dough is the star. But that's good stuff. I'm glad Frank got up there, and we want everybody to come out this Sunday. If you want to join us, besides the contest winners and Ken, and some of my friends are going to be in town, and I'm going to maybe bring a guest also. But
This is much anticipated, by the way, Michael.
$40 per person. It's a reduced rate from the normal low price of $50 per person for the Sunday brunch buffet at 10 Palms. And we love Joe B. And congrats to Joe B. I understand yesterday he got another promotion. Every time I look
Oh,
up,
yeah, wow.
he has a
really?
new title. Because first I thought he was director of food and beverage. Then he was hospitality director. Now his new title is executive director of hospitality. So I
Is
hope
he-
that comes with some
Oh,
more
we still see
cabbage.
him? I don't want
Yeah.
I love
He's not.
him.
He's not leaving Gulfstream. He's not been. He's not leaving town. He's just got a new title, and I hope more moolah. And I call that the Lunchbox bump, right, Defo?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure.
It's a going, yeah. I mean, with all the promotion that you're doing, tell Dave Joseph about that. That you also managed to, get the man that was running the show, the GM there, promoted to an executive position
Yeah, no,
of an
it's
even
good.
higher variety.
So if you want to come out and join us this Sunday, email me, mikemayoeats@gmail.com, just like you do for the contest every week. Just email mikemayoeats@gmail.com with the number of people that are going to be coming in your party, and then you'll just get the regular bill when you get there, but it'll be at that discounted rate of $40 per person.
40 bones is a bargain on that after you paid 20 for a hot dog yesterday.
So that's going to be good.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. And I would love, can you get in touch with Frank? Can he come on?
I'm going to try and see if he'll do it. I mean, lately he's, sort of preoccupied with a lot of
Saying
different
he's
things.
too big for us? Come on.
He might be too big for us, but
Monday
he
and
might do me a
Tuesdays.
favor because he did credit me with the lecture I gave him, and I forget exactly, what the gist of it was, but it was like probably along the lines of stop gambling your brains out and concentrate on what you're doing, and you have a shot to become like a big time track announcer. And he credits that inspirational speech that I gave him one time, a pep talk, with some of the success that he's had today. Now, I would have to say that had very little to do with it, because I was probably drunk at the time. But nonetheless,
You're probably gambling at the time.
I thought he had talent. And I thought, like many people have said to me over the years, you're probably wasting a lot of your good years goofing around and being a fool.
Not that he owes you anything, but ask for a little favor because they're dark on Mondays and Tuesdays. So one of these Mondays and Tuesdays.
I think he would love to talk pizza because he was here for a substantial period of time, and there were many places that he would be able to review for us. So it'd be great.
Hey, and I just got confirmation we're on for Casa Calabria tomorrow. Again,
Oh,
it's
beautiful.
Only open for dinners every day, but Monday at the Ocean Manor Resort. We love Casa Calabria. They've got great food, and Chef Salvatore is going to be preparing us some fine food for our Lunchbox show tomorrow. Thursday, we're going to be at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. I might as well do the spot for them now. Because I love going out there. They have the freshest quality in terms of seafood and also the poultry and the meats, the steaks, everything you want at Delaware Chicken and Seafood is at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, right across from the old classic Seminole casino. I bet the classic casino, their hot dogs probably go for about $3 at their food.
Yeah, they probably do not have.
That's the thing. Don't you think of going to like a parimutuel facility, like a racetrack, and getting yourself a cheap dog?
Yeah, well, I tell you
You're
what.
not assuming you're going to get clobbered on the hot dog. You really
somebody very early in the thread on Let's Eat, when I was again going off about my $16 hot dog, said, go to Delaware. Not only do they have those great dogs that we had during our show previewing the 4th of July, the Wagyu and the Kobe
They were
beef
high
hot dogs.
quality.
He said they'll grill them there for you. You could actually get a grilled hot dog and have it for lunch from Delaware. That's part of the amazing thing they do there.
Yeah.
All these foods they will prepare for you. They'll steam a lobster whole so you can just have it ready to go when you get home. They will shuck your oysters. They will steam, they'll do the crab cakes. They'll heat them up for you so you could eat them for lunch right in the car, which you like to do. How's that show going, by the way? We're going to do that to Eating with Defo.
We need to develop it. I mean, I still think it's a novel idea. I'm hoping it's only one of those ideas that isn't just good for one show.
I think we could come up with a laundry list of things.
You would be great at it. Actually, you should be driving. I don't know if
I'll drive. You eat, and then I could finally mock you for your.
No, but
I mean, you have to be eating this stuff. The whole key to the show is
while driving, eating
things that are difficult to eat, like while driving, like that time. I mean, inspired by the time we had the bucket of fried rice from that Chinese restaurant outside of Hialeah, and the Mustang and I didn't have any utensils. They neglected to put those in there because they probably were figuring you weren't going to eat this in the car. And we ended up like grabbing handfuls of fried rice, which then I found the next day all over the floor. And, I had to go and get the car clean.
Burgers are easy, especially if they have wrappers. I would say
that can be messy, though.
I would
not
avoid,
Lionel, but messy, MESSY.
Yes, I would avoid chicken wings while driving because that could be extremely.
I've done that. I've done wings. I've done nachos.
Greasy wheels.
People's eating pasta while driving.
Taco Bell.
Pasta while driving.
Chicken piccata.
Potatoes while driving. Roasted chicken.
Roast chicken.
Pizza's easy. You just grab a slice and you fold it.
It's the easy thing. Tacos are the easy thing. But like a chicken parmesan, like you don't eat that while driving. Defo's eating while driving.
That
100%. Defo has a talent.
Thanksgiving dinner you're eating while driving.
We need to do it. I'm not saying we don't need to do it. I just
lasagna is great.
We'll continue fleshing out that theme. But meanwhile, you should go. Everybody, check out Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Owner Doug Carter and his crew. They'll take great care of you.
Can't wait to get there. They're being great.
Yeah, we're going to be spotlighting also fish and seafood coming up this week. I think they're going to do some grilled swordfish and, of course, that Turks and Caicos conch for their conch salad. And also cracked conch is a delicacy that they have there at Delaware. Go in. DelawareChicken.com for the weekly specials, daily offerings. It's a great place. I've been going there for decades. You'll love it. Check them out. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
Is it Grand Bahama Island that has that conch shack right there on the beach? That's I don't know that it's world renowned, but everybody says you have to go there. Have you been to that place? I want to say it's in Grand Bahama Island, not Nassau.
I have not been. It's world famous.
It really is good. I mean,
why is it conch and not conch? And I think if it was pronounced conch, we would have less, opportunity for people maybe misconstruing what the word we're saying.
Yeah,
there it is. But
it
there I go again.
Just fresh as a daisy, though, and that was helps make it great. So looking forward to it. That's going to be great. Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market.
We'll be out there Thursday. Come do your weekend shopping this Thursday and stop by. We love doing the show inside. It shows you the hustle and bustle and all their great products. Yeah.
All right, coming back with more here. Mike Mayo's Lunchbox, which hits the road after today's show in a moment.
It's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me. I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Go in there on a Wednesday. They got buy one, get one on cheesesteaks from 5 to 8 p.m. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Beach Cafe. It's a South Florida landmark, and it's one happy restaurant right on the water. Tables literally on the beach. A place where you could dip your toes in the sand, kick back, relax with island vibes, tropical drinks, and live music daily. You know it. It's at One Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea. And of course, it has Chef Chris Nealon and his famed Caribbean Floridian cuisine. With a huge menu with something for everyone. Seafood, raw bar, conch fritters, burgers, sandwiches, salads, daily specials, and of course, that famous Bimini bread. They've got a great staff that'll take great care of you. There's something to celebrate every day. Open 7 days until late. Parking available on site. Happy hour weekdays 4 to 7 p.m. Go check out more at ArubaBeachCafe.com. Better yet, go in there yourself at Aruba Beach Cafe. Good food, drinks, friends, and laughter are always the catch of the day. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the blackened grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. We're back on the Lunchbox, and comments keep streaming in on the $16 hot dog. Lita D notes, well, at least he got the entire box of tater tots. So I guess there's that.
Well, and they screwed up your order, though. That's the the other thing about it.
How'd they screw that up?
Well, you said you wanted raw onions, and they brought you grilled onions.
No, that was on me. I said, do you, because I asked the bartender, I said, do you have any toppings? Like I said, sauerkraut or onions. She didn't get back to me with a reply. She just brought the dog, and apparently there was no sauerkraut, which is a little bit disconcerting for a $16 Nathan's
$16,
dog.
you should get what you want.
Especially with a Nathan's hot dog. Nathan screams for sauerkraut.
Yes.
But, when she heard onions, I guess she didn't delineate or think of raw versus grilled. And at that point, who am I to start sending back?
May as well have made him do some work. Sure.
I just wanted to go all the way. I also measured the word count on the original post. It seems like everybody's attention span is getting much shorter. 695 words, and you'd think it was a Tolstoy novel.
It was like a short story. It wasn't really a Facebook post.
Did it hold you?
I
really.
have to say, after a while, I started to glance over certain portions of it.
All right.
I was thinking, as many people do when they're watching this show, when are they going to get to the point?
I did give people an out. I said in big parentheses, like, you can stop reading now because the gist of it has already been said. I just was giving.
But you have to try your hand every now and then at going back into your writer's mode, which I respect. I think it's good.
I like when he does them.
Just to keep that muscle going. And I thought, the line about Jiggly and Ishtar was,
you never know. The guy might retire from the Times after, people lambast him for eating a $29 hot dog, and they force him out. And next thing you know, Mayo's getting a call, and we're all off to New York.
Not only that, he
imagine the Times running a Facebook page.
He praised the $29 hot dog and gave 0 stars and gave a complete takedown of Peter Luger's Steakhouse a couple of years ago. So,
well, then this guy's crazy. Okay.
That's Pete Wells. I don't think they're calling me.
David Wells wouldn't be giving that bum review, would he? I mean,
so speaking of the Times and Facebook groups, here's the funny part. They actually ran a Facebook group in conjunction with their cooking. They have like a cooking section and newsletter, and the New York Times recipes are very popular. They ran a Facebook group. It got over 100,000, and it became too crazy for them. They just washed their hands of it. They said, we're no longer administering it. We're no longer putting our Times logo on it. This is yours, you crazies. And I don't know who is running the group anymore, or I don't know if they just shut the whole thing down.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'm going to talk Gretchen and David Schutz at the Sun Sentinel out of that, because I happen to love punishment. I love Let's Eat South Florida. I love $16 hot dogs because it's all part of the food experience.
And you live for this. You really do, which is great.
So
people don't realize how much you sacrifice of your own life and your own health and well-being to
and sanity
to deliver the kind of news and information about the local dining scene that you do. It's really noble of you.
But it's all for the people. Almost 112,000.
You're unfairly crucified by the group. You're very much in the same mode as the Trumpster, where you're the most, unfortunately attacked individual.
Yes.
In the history of the United States.
Witch hunt.
Witch hunt and the hoaxes, conspiracy theories.
Not only am I a victim, I'm also the perpetrator. So,
yes.
Hey, before we go, just a quick word for our friends at Dine Out Lauderdale. You're going to want to get out, go onto the website, dineoutlauderdale.com, because it's coming up. We're less than 2 weeks out from, actually 2 weeks, I think, exactly from the start. August 1st to August 31st, going to have all those great dining deals going on, not just at high-end restaurants with their multi-course meals, but also at places out and about, some of the cafes and even the ice cream parlors. We're going to be out at Jackson's, as I mentioned. They're creating the Specialty Sunday that's going to be offered as part of Dine Out Lauderdale. Check it out, dineoutlauderdale.com. It's going to be a great time for both restaurants and restaurant goers. I don't think you'll be seeing a $16 hot dog on their Dine Out Lauderdale specials list. So, anyway, that's going to do it for today, guys.
You haven't been to Rock and Roll Ribs, have you?
I have
We
not.
went not that long. We
Nico
went
McBrain's
2
joint.
weeks ago.
Have you
Yeah,
been?
2 weeks ago.
They have the fried hot dog that everybody raves about.
Oh, they do?
It's a
I
Jersey
had it
Ripper.
once. Yeah, it was very good.
Yeah,
I don't think it was anywhere near that price either. But
No,
it's one of those things that if you're going to go to the place, everybody says you ought to try the fried hot dog there. It's exceptional.
Well, fried hot dog is called a Ripper, and it's
Yeah.
famous in New Jersey at a place called Rutt's Hut. So I'm glad to hear that there is a place in South Florida serving that style. I'm going to alert Burger Beast Seth immediately because he loves fried hot dogs, as you can tell.
World renowned at Rock and Roll Ribs.
Yes.
Where is that? Is that Plantation? Where is it?
It's in Coast. It's right around the corner
Coral
from
Springs.
in
Okay.
Coast
There we go.
Springs.
All right, I got to get out of here. I'm going to be up in Delray tonight, the Best of Delray Beach, having another one of our
Beautiful.
monthly cocktail parties, happy hours at the new. It's called Atlantic. What's it called? Atlantic Yacht Club. It's a new bar on Atlantic Avenue there, ACYC. So
All right.
it's
Sounds
going to
good.
be a fun time. And come on. Well, actually, you have to.
Joe
RSVP.
Casal heading out with Tasso?
Not sure, but I'm taking Bonnie up there, and we're going to
All
have
right.
ourselves a nice
Nice.
time. We'll see everybody tomorrow. Well, on the air, we'll be from Casa Calabria.
That'll be
eating
great.
well again.
Unbelievable.
So,
Looking
until
forward to it.
then, for
Enjoy
Jeff
every meatball
Cook
at that
Five,
point.
enjoy
Yeah.
every meatball and enjoy every sandwich.
Stars, it's gonna break your state.